Probably the biggest mistake I see most small business owners make when they get into the non-emergency medical transportation industry is really shooting too low when it comes to knowing how to book clients and how to negotiate contracts. You want to think beyond just the short-term numbers of what works for me right now. A lot of guys go low when you should be going high. And a big reason why a lot of people find themselves going low is because they always include I when they're making business decisions. You should always take yourself out of the equation. You should not be doing anything when you're providing transportation services to your clients. It really should be, how do I run my business and how much do I need to make? What is my margin if I'm not actually providing transportation services? That should be the first question you answer. Like, what does my margin need to be? In the private pay industry, your margin should be somewhere between probably 35 to 60% of your private pay clients. Inside of Medicaid, Medicare, they're going to be a lot smaller, probably 5 to 15%. Which is why I always encourage new small business owners in the medical transportation industry to always start out with private pay clients. Build your client base by really breaking down the area that you're providing services in, building relationships with rehab facilities, hospitals, surgery offices, especially outpatient surgery. A lot of times they need help with their patients. You can even do ambulatory because they usually put them under some form of anesthesia. Colonoscopy clinics are always really good. All of these are places where you can start providing services, very low barrier of entry. They're really just looking for consistency from the providers. And you can bring in some very good money while you're either waiting to become a Medicaid provider or waiting to build relationships. A lot of those trips are ambulatory as well. A lot of facilities do not like using Uber and Lyft. They don't know what type of person is going to pick them up. A lot of these companies really want door-through-door services. And what I mean by door-through-door services is exactly that. They want you to come inside, pick their patient up after surgery, and take them to their home and take them through the door. And they'll pay premium rates, quality rates, to get that done. How you guys doing? Good. Beautiful dog.
Thank you.
Just going through my neighborhood, enjoying the scenery and everything that's included in it. Hey, big guy. Where was I? Yeah. So, those are the types of things that you want to keep in mind. Private Pay to Millions is still available. It's one of the best books out there. I've heard a couple of people talk to me about some of the other stuff that they're reading and going through. What separates my book from everyone else's is I'm only talking private pay. I could care less about Medicaid. It doesn't pay enough if you ask me. And why should I waste my time on a 15% margin when there's a 60 to 70% margin out there that, you just don't know anything about because no one's taking the time to actually do the research or put in the work to get those types of services contracted. I mean, you can find yourself doing a 0 to 5 mile wheelchair trip, $100, $125, $150. Those are real numbers inside of the private pay industry. You're not going to get those types of numbers with Medicaid. And there's facts. Another key to really building your relationship is getting to know a lot of the providers in your area. Go to some of the nursing meetings. Go to some of the, meet and greets at hospitals and facilities. Get yourself on some of their registration information so they send you emails and sometimes even text messages about some of the vendor gatherings that they're having at these particular hospitals, rehab facilities. A lot of companies, a lot of hospitals, a lot of rehab centers, a lot of times they're looking for providers and they just go to the person that they're used to because they don't know who else to call. So if you're available and you're making yourself available and you're getting things done, it just opens up doors that really are more lucrative than your Medicaid contract. In a perfect world, you're going to have 2 hospital contracts, 3 rehab facility contracts, and then to fill the rest of your day, you have some Medicaid. If your business is more than 50% Medicaid dependent, you're in a really funny situation. You want all of your private pay clients to start depositing that money either same day because you're taking credit cards, or you're waiting on that net 30 check to drop, and that's your residual. And your Medicaid really pays just your daily expenses, gas, insurance, staff, employee costs. But where you really make your money up at is with your private pay clients. And it's a lot easier than you think. In my opinion, it's easier to have a Medicaid contract because there's no competition. But the real money is in your private pay contracts. And there's even less competition with private pay contracts because no one wants to go out there and put in the work to go to these facilities, find the person that you need to talk to build that relationship and to get things done. And that's where a lot of small businesses don't accelerate quickly. You should not be using Medicaid to scale. And I know this is contrary to what a lot of people will tell you, but maybe you should question the type of people that you're talking to. You really want to build your digital footprint. Through building your digital footprint, then you want to take your contacts. Anytime you get an opportunity to talk with a hospital or a facility, even if they call just to inquire on your rates, get their email address. That's the first thing you want to do, is get that email address. Put them on an email blog list. You can do email marketing for a very small amount of money with some help from someone on Fiverr. They'll send a couple of emails out on a monthly basis, or you can use ChatGPT and an automation tool like make.com to get that done. But stay in communication with those hospitals and rehab facility contacts. Anytime they call you and say, hey, I got a client, just because they have a client, the one client isn't what you want. You want that consistent call from them on a regular basis. You want to be the go-to person that they communicate with and that they build relationship with. And all of this stuff, again, is right there in my ebook, Private Pay to Millions. You can click on the link. It'll take you over there to purchase it. The knowledge and the information that you're going to see out of that ebook pales in comparison to the price. I'm practically giving it away. It shows you how to build your business from the ground up and really scale it through private pay clients, not through Medicaid. Medicaid keeps you busy, but your private pay clients will get you to that next level and make you some real money. And for those individuals who are out there saying, oh, well, I'm making a lot of money with Medicaid. What happens if Medicaid tomorrow, you get a phone call from Elon and he say, you know what? We spending too much on Medicaid transportation. We're not doing it anymore. And that's a real thing. They shutting down stuff left and right. Government programs are being gutted because they're spending too much money. The wealthiest country in the world can't afford to take care of its people anymore, which is very weird, but it's a real thing. Well, in my case, since 90% of what we do is private pay, I care less what the government does with any of these government programs, because my relationships are B2C, business to consumer, and B2B, business to business. And that's all that we pretty much do. I cringe when I hear someone say, well, do you take Medicaid? Nope. Or do you take Medicare? Nope. We take credit cards. We take Zelle. And that's about it. So check out the link above. I think it'll do a lot of you guys good to hear someone come from a different perspective other than what they're coming from right now, where everybody is telling you Medicaid, Medicaid, Medicaid. And then you got this contrarian saying, nah, private pay, private pay, private pay. That's where the money at. Look forward to hearing from you guys. You can DM me if you're interested in asking questions or a consultation. Take care.